Yo, what is going on, guys? J.Yumeko here, and today we're here with the house in Fata Morgana. This is the first game, the original game, and this is the backstage content. So this is in the extras tab. And yeah, I mean, we just released the first episode of House in Fata Morgana, A Requiem for Innocence, which I highly recommend you guys go check out. The first episode was absolutely a banger. And so yeah, I had promised that I would come back and look at this, and so here I am. I just jumped into it, just kind of playing around with the menu, so here we are. Excuse me, what are you doing here? You, yes, you. Ah, it's Morgana. I wish I knew how all these uninvited souls kept finding their way to my mansion. Well, never mind that for now. The fact that you're here means you've uncovered all the mansion's mysteries, yes? My congratulations for having the fortitude to endure such a grim tale. I would ask what you thought of it, but unfortunately that is beyond even my powers. Since you're here, though, how would you like to take a little tour of my house? That is, if you're willing to take this hand. You've got a strong stomach, at least. Before we begin our little trek, I'd like to emphasize that this is, as the title implies, a look behind the curtains of the house in Fata Morgana. If you just completed the game and would like some time to dwell on it, you're welcome to head back now. But should you choose to continue, I encourage you to do so knowing that what you're about to read does not in any way respect the tone of the game proper. You'll be making your way into the heads of the staff themselves, and I promise you it's not a pretty sight. You'll see people who shouldn't be here, things that contradict the events of the game, a general sense of pandemonium. You do best not to think too much of it. That said, I'd prefer not to have to guide you around the house all by myself. Not because I have anything particular against you, of course. I simply think it would be inappropriate for him not to accompany us. Yes, him. This story's protagonist. Let's be off then. I found another split end! Look, this one's split into 3! I don't know why you're so excited about split ends. If my hair is such a mess, maybe I should just cut it all off. I'm not particularly attached to having long hair. I'm not sure how I feel about that idea. I quite enjoy playing with your hair myself. Says the woman who once called me a hair monster. I didn't actually mean that. I was just, a little overwhelmed at the time about how unexpectedly handsome you were, but I couldn't bring myself to say it. I hope you two sickening lovebirds spontaneously combust. Hey, what was that for? And be careful what you wish for, quite literally. We might actually go up in flames. How long have you been standing there, Morgana? As the future master of this house, I'm everywhere at all times, even in the bathrooms. Thank you. Don't worry. When I was in her position, I closed my eyes and plugged my ears while you were doing your business. I think that's enough toilet humor for the time being, especially in front of our guest. You're the one who brought it up. Wait, a guest? Oh, so you can't see the soul beside me? That's quite a shame. Could they be the one who was watching over us? I'd better give them my thanks then. Unfortunately, I can't see you there, but either way, thank you very much for accompanying us to the end of our story. Go on, Michael, you thank them too. Thanks. You're the protagonist. Surely you can do better than that. Could you really consider me the protagonist? What, did you hit your head and lose your memories again? It's just never really seemed that way to me. I can understand that. You didn't really become an active participant in the story until the end of chapter 4, Michael. In some ways, you could call the first 4 chapters an extended prologue. But once you reclaimed yourself, you were most definitely playing the protagonist. Especially the final chapter. You had me swooning by the end. Sure. Thanks. I'm going to bring Michael with me. And only Michael. Oh, what about me? Because with you around, he turns into a lovesick, airheaded dope. He's about as useful to me as a wet paper sack full of potatoes. Come on now, get moving. Are you sure I can't come with you? Absolutely not. You spoil him, in more ways than one. What are we going to do, though? What do you think, my dear? What any respectable behind-the-scenes extra would do, of course. We're going to visit each room in the mansion and faff about like a bunch of fools. That sounds like a lot. That sounds a lot like spend 1,000 lines talking trash about Michael to me. I seem to recall plenty of faffing about me in the main game anyway. Why don't we do something we couldn't do here? Ah, I have just the thing. Here, they're cue cards. Cue cards? They've got profiles and other miscellaneous notes from the creators about each of the characters. I thought they might come in handy. I can see them being useful, yes, but why exactly do you have those? Apparently it's the maid's job to give the star of the show's notes. Is that a fact? If I'm not mistaken, the maid had cue cards in the other extra as well. I'd rather pretend those miniaturized things were not actually us. I can't help but feel the creators were screwing with us on some level. I'm sorry, I missed something. We'll have to go back and maybe see what that was. Actually, since we're here, maybe we should start with the two of you before we head out. I'll read your profile, Michael. I doubt you'd want to do it yourself, would you? Hand over the cue cards. Alright, now let's begin. This pathetic long-haired man is, believe it or not, the protagonist of the house in Fata Morgana. See, I told you this is how it would go. You can't deny a lot of readers probably didn't expect the creepy white-haired recluse to turn out to be the main character. According to this, two of the creators' goals for this game were to subvert readers' expectations and cast new light on old information the farther you progress throughout the story. Which, they did a great job on that. I noticed that. They really... They kept you guessing the entire story. You two are probably the most obvious examples of that. Don't forget about yourself, Morgana. Even before the focal point of the game, my story was revealed, there were examples of lines or events taking on new meaning as each of the first 3 chapters developed. Though perhaps there are some people whose interpretations did not change throughout the course of the tales. That is true. At first, Mel seemed like a fairly likable young man, but by the end of his chapter, he had revealed himself as a helplessly worthless child. The second chapter was pretty crazy too, when we found out about, ukulele, that was it. No, that's not how you pronounce his name. As I recall, it's eucalyptus. You already made that joke. Let it go, please. That creature doesn't need a name. Just call him the Beast. Chapter 3 was something else too. My impression of Jacob and Maria had completely turned around by the end. At the end of that chapter, you learn what kind of man he really was, which then ties into the revelations in the final chapter. Piles of human garbage, 3 of them. But we'll go into more detail about them later. Right now, it's Michael's turn. The core aspect of his character are justice and righteousness. What? Why are you looking at me like I just told you the sky's purple? I wasn't expecting something so flattering to come out of your mouth. Nor do I recall really thinking of myself that way. I'm hardly a paragon of virtue. That's true. Putting a knife to a woman's neck isn't very righteous. My sincerest apologies. You had your reasons, I know. But it was pretty terrifying at the time. I don't hold it against you, though. Anyway, while those are the core aspects of your character, they got buried over the course of the abuse and misfortune you suffered throughout the story. Your circumstances in life forced you to repress yourself, and once you were free from those restrictions in the final chapter, you were able to act as the man you truly are, or something to that effect. I'd say it was Giselle's influence more than anything that got me through the final chapter. Like I said in the game, I couldn't have done it on my own. I'm glad I could be of assistance. I really need to peel these two apart. I'll never finish if they keep making goo-goo eyes at each other every 10 seconds. If that's supposed to be my character, then there's one thing I can't wrap my head around. And what would that be? How the promotional material portrays me. There's half out of fondness for being misleading. The writer especially. Take my portrayal in the demo's backstage extra. What was that all about? Well, it was the demo. I'm sure they just didn't want to spoil the surprise. It was fun calling you my whipping boy, too. And your portrayal makes sense if we assume the Michael there was from when it was just the two of you living in the mansion. You were pretty damaged at that point. Which is largely my fault, I suppose. In any event, the promotional materials are already out there, so there's nothing you can do about it. You are, for all intents and purposes, officially a neat. Well, now that the game's over, I have a couple of things I'd like to get off my chest. And what would those be? I never wanted to be a recluse. Well said. Well said indeed. Also, I never wanted to die a virgin. Well said. Well said indeed. Although I must say, it seems rather irreverent to joke about either of those knowing what we know now. Well, we're not the ones writing. We just say what we're told. Regardless, I can't say I'm completely satisfied, but I'm happy enough my story was adequately explained in the game itself. I'm genuinely impressed you could be happy about any of your story, considering the kind of hell you were put through. There were how many dead ends? And you took quite the beating, on more than one occasion. A lot of that does fall on my head, I suppose. The ending was perfect, though. So yes, I'm happy. Please, for the love of all that's holy, stop smiling. I can't see it as anything but pitiful. Why? Because in this story, you're the king of misfortune. Oh, that reminds me. There's something in your profile even more crucial than your core of justice and righteousness. You were apparently born under an unlucky star. And that's why, no matter what you did or where you go, you're destined to have terrible things happen to you. Why must the universe be so cruel to me? Well, I am the queen of misfortune, so perhaps they just wanted someone else to be as miserable as me. Giselle had it pretty bad too. What? You think so? I don't think I had it nearly as bad as either of you. You spent centuries completely and utterly broken. That's all in the past, though. I'm back to my old self now, and that's enough for me. You are unnaturally skilled at whitewashing the past. In fact, the both of you are far too forgiving. Although, I suppose that's why you ended up as the hero and heroine of the story. But I'm still the anti-heroine. You say that like it's something to be proud of. Well, that about covers the main character, Michael. In conclusion, he's a 27-year-old man with his head in the clouds who talks like a character out of a bad fairy tale. What happened to all of that about justice and righteousness? Why couldn't you conclude with that? He also has no sense of humor and doesn't realize that they're the exact same thing. Could you try not buttering me up only to tear me back down again? Even the inverse would be preferable. And to top it all off, he's completely incompetent when it comes to romance. I knew it! I knew this was how it was going to go. I'd rank you made fun of number 2 in terms of when I can't fucking talk. Hold up, I need to get comfortable now. It's really hot in my room. I'd rank you being made fun of number 2 in terms of when you're most interested, Michael. Gee, thanks. That makes me feel so much better. Now, since it seems we've fallen back into our usual routine, let's move on to Giselle, shall we? Me next? I feel butterflies in my stomach. And here we have, believe it or not, the heroine of the game. What's so hard to believe about that? Tell me, would you ever imagine the maid with her creepy laugh was once this bubbling ball of energy? I'd rather not think about my time as the maid. I can't say I blame you. Your mind was complete mush at that time. Ooh. If you'll allow me to say, that maid outfit was quite the eye-catch. Hold your tongue, my dear. Hey man, he's not wrong. That maid outfit was so... Now, I have to ask, Giselle, where the world did you pick up those laughably flowery speech patterns? Are you sure you want to know? Is there any reason I wouldn't? I picked it up from you, Morgana. Excuse me? Like when you're really ripping into someone, Morgana, you kind of start talking like a character in a stage play. You're calling me theatrical? You take that back. So the maid's speech patterns were modeled after Morgana's, huh? That would definitely make sense, considering the tone of the 4th chapter. Don't you be talking about me, even in your head! Not a word. Regardless, my speech patterns and the maids share nothing in common. And you're terribly human beings. Damn, I can't talk. And you're terrible human beings for so much suggesting it. What are you smirking about? Oh, nothing. I was just thinking that a human Morgana is kind of incredibly adorable. Ah, you're blushing. Look at her, she's blushing. Oh, be quiet. Are you just gonna stand by and watch as your girlfriend insults me like this, Michael? I have to agree if you ask me. You are pretty adorable right now. It's like 2 tiny little red tomatoes are growing on your face. I am not blushing. And if the two of you don't back off, I'll cast a curse on your souls for all eternity. That seems a bit excessive. We seem to have gotten off track. Let's take a look at Giselle's profile now, shall we? I can't imagine there's much written there. You obviously aren't a very good judge of your own character, then. No sane person would spend centuries waiting for a man they only knew for a year. It isn't the amount of time that we were together that matters. Besides, it was more complicated than that. With how we were forced to part ways, there was no way I could let it end there. Also, we were bound on a cellular level. I think I just vomited in my mouth a little. Oh, it wasn't that bad, was it? Moving on. So, as you can see, Giselle has her own fair share of baggage as well, but she's an optimistic woman, proactive about moving on. Hidden behind the maid was a fairly classic heroine character. Giselle and the maid became about because one day the creators decided they really wanted to see a cheerful young woman turn into a broken husk of a human. Poor Giselle. Another thing they wanted to do with Giselle was start out with her as essentially the story's narrator, and then over the course of the game pull her out of that position and turn her into a real character. On a somewhat unrelated note, Giselle's betrayal, or the maid's I suppose, outside the game was possibly worse than mine. It was! I was practically evil in the demo's backstage scene. I'd estimate about 70% of the character the staff tried to play off as the maid was actually Morgana. You're making it sound like I'm evil now. That I will not stand for. You were evil, but you were definitely an antagonist for a good portion of the game. We've already established that the staff gets off on being intentionally misleading, so let's just assume that's what it was and move on. Before I forget, there's another important note in Giselle's profile and I still need to go over. Oh? And what would that be? She has the largest breast of anyone in the game. Let's go! I saw that, Michael! I saw you sneaking a look! Don't think you can fool me! It's hard not to look, frankly. You guys have no idea what it's like. My shoulders are constantly stiff, it's terrible. Hold on a sec. Didn't you say in your profile that you prefer small boobs? What? I never said that. And who do you think we're gonna trust here? But enough of that. That's Giselle and or the maid for you. She started out of the game seemingly full of secrets and possibly scheming something, and turned out to be the ideal wife material. Ideal wife material? I like the sound of that. Why does she get so much better treatment than me? The story is supposed to be, at least to some degree, about Michael's growth, so with Giselle around, I imagine it would have ended failing that goal spectacularly. Most likely. The two of us kept each other going. Now, that about sums up everything I have to say about you two, so we're gonna go for a little walk around the mansion. Wait, so Michael's profile says he prefers small breasts, but Giselle has the largest breasts in the game. Well, I guess you know what they say. It ain't all about looks now. You stay here and keep yourself entertained, Giselle. I'd rather come with you. I'm staying too. No, you're coming. If you don't, I'll cast another curse on your 3 souls. Or do you want all their hard work in the game to go to waste? You don't have to threaten me. Okay, fine. I'll be back shortly, Giselle. Have fun. I'll be here when you get back. Here, Michael. You can have the cue cards back. It's now your job to read off their profiles. Do I really have to? You might as well do something. What happened to the Michael from the game's climax? Because right now you look like breathing is too much effort to bother with. I just don't think I'm the right person to be talking about other people's characters. You might have a point. If you don't have someone to keep you in check, you'll start defending anyone, no matter how heinous. You really ought to learn to call a sinner a sinner. Was she asleep for half the game? Anyway, it's your job, understood? Well, whatever. Let's get going then, shall we? We'll start by visiting the 3 men who instigated my curse. And I think I'll let you, our guest, decide the order. Now, go on. Take your pick. Thank you, Morgana. I appreciate that. Let's just go in order. Let's go see Mel. Off we go then, to see the spineless little boy. We came to pay you a visit, you spineless little boy. Hey, you show up out of nowhere and that's how you greet me. What are you two doing here anyway? We have to talk to you for this behind-the-scenes extra. Do you really think anyone would visit you if they had a choice? This is an extra like you said, so can't we make this a pleasant affair? Also, I know you like calling me spineless, but I don't think I'm that big of a wuss. If you ask me, I'd say I handled myself pretty well around the white-haired girl by the end of chapter 1. And I definitely put in some good work on the final chapter. I'll agree with you about the final chapter, but the end of the first chapter doesn't leave the best impression. Can you really blame me? How was I supposed to predict Nellie would go so far? No kidding. Go on, Michael, the cue cards. Share this spineless child's profile with all the world. Let's see here. It says here that the desire to be loved is one of the themes of Mel's story. His unconditional kindness for others was rooted in that desire. Could you be any more pitiful, my dear? I don't think that's a terribly unusual trait. Some people need the validation and love of others to make it through life. That's only human. See, I told you you'd start getting defensive. I don't see the point in being as harsh on him in the extra as I was in the main game. On the subject of the first chapter, I have to say it really was surprisingly bright and cheerful for the most part. At least until the latter parts of the chapter, things were honestly quite pleasant. I wonder how many readers at that point of the game could even imagine how brutal and dark the main story would come out to be. Up until the second chapter began, I imagine many people thought you were the game's protagonist, Mel. Not that he could have handled that kind of responsibility, of course. Let me guess, because I'm spineless? It's a question of experience. Only someone who's been through the kind of mistreatment and misfortune Michael's been would be able to free me. Oh? I didn't know you had it that bad, Michael. It's, not something I care to talk about. To start things off, he was physically and emotionally abused by a psychotic woman by the name of... Not another word, Morgana. Well, whatever happened, it sounds like it was rough. You have my sympathies. Getting pity from you just makes me irrationally angry. Hold still so I can give you a good whack to the jawbone. Whoa! You were just defending me a dozen lines back, and now you want to hit me! You two getting along oddly well, you know. There's something about Michael that almost makes him feel like he's my age. I have a good 10 years on you. He did spend 13 years locked up in isolation from the world. It's hardly surprised he stopped aging mentally. Whoa, you were locked up for 13 years. Wow, now I really feel bad for you. Prepare for the beating of a lifetime, boy. Why? I just said I felt bad for you. Your sympathy is, by and large, a ruse. Rarely do you ever genuinely mean it. I can't speak. Rarely do you ever genuinely mean it. It's not true. We've gotten off track. Mel is, on the surface, a friendly, kind-hearted young man, but he has a tendency to stumble and cower back when things get difficult, in part due to the lack of esteem mentioned earlier. And in the final chapter, he started off in a very difficult situation, so he was submissive and a constant source of pathetic complaining. Spineless and submissive. Oh, spineless and submissive. There's no hope for you, is there? Yeah. I think he would make a fairly respectable young man if he would overcome that weakness. The end of the final chapter was in part a result of him reaching that point. See? When push comes to shove, I come through. Have you forgotten the part where you sold me out? Sorry about that. One's environment does also have a significant effect on their behavior. Well, that about covers what's on the cue card. I feel like I just spent the whole time getting railed on. Not that I can blame you, I guess, just considering how I acted over the course of the game. In the end, you did manage to prove a good ally, though. Thanks. I'm glad I could be of assistance. If you're trying to end this on a pleasant note, I won't have it. Him being somewhat helpful in an alternative version of events that never actually occurred doesn't change the fact that he gave up on me like some spineless wuss. Oh, give him a break, would you? The game's over. This could be a different game entirely, and I would still hold it against him. Though I suppose I could be a little less incessant about it. We do have a guest, after all. Now, I think it's time we went to see someone else. Oh, you're leaving already? That's unfortunate. I was hoping we could maybe go for a walk in the sun or have a picnic together or something. So you can weaken me? And then what'll you do to me? If you suggest to walk around the lake, I'll tie you to rocks and I'll tie rocks to your feet and push you in. Farewell, Mel. Until our souls cross paths once more in the boundless sphere of fate. Yeah. Bye, Morgana. Michael. Alrighty, let's go to the swordsman. You want to see him? Well, whatever you'd like. Michael, you go first.
So I can be your meat shield again.
We came to pay you a visit, you psychotic monster.
Is that what I am? A psychopath? If nothing else, you're most certainly the character in this game that poses the most danger to others. That's fair. Most of the dead ends were on me as well. You really need to learn to show some regard for human life. I just lose control of myself. There's nothing I can do about it. This is murder we're talking about here. Do something about it.
Of all the characters in the game, he was the most dramatically two-faced. The illustrations of the second chapter were honestly quite shocking.
I feel terrible for Pauline. So, what brings you two here?
It's a behind-the-scenes extra, so we're here to discuss you as a character. The staff even provided us with notes.
I see. Do you not think the setting's worth talking about at all, then?
You want to talk about the setting? You, the Japanese guy who barged in out of nowhere, was supposed to be who barged in out of nowhere in what was supposed to be a gothic suspense horror game.
Out of curiosity, were you also Japanese in the final chapter? I couldn't tell you. I don't have most of my memories. What does the staff have to say about that? From somewhere in Asia. That's incredibly vague. That said, there's apparently a reason for the ambiguity. The main theme of your story is boundary, it says.
Oh wow. I was expecting madness, or brutality, or beasts, or multiple personalities.
I don't actually have multiple personalities. It's just an act.
That's nothing to gloat about, my dear.
Anyway, it says here you're a character that straddles a number of different boundaries. Sanity and madness, humanity and barbarity. Also faithfulness and infidelity. I committed no infidelity. I never slept with the white-haired girl.
Only because all you need in a relationship is peace and a tether.
You have a point. You conceded that point rather easily.
And once you cross one of those boundaries, you quickly lose control of yourself. You really are a strange man, you know that. You weren't quite so bad in the final chapter, but in the second it was almost unbelievable how downright maniacal you got. I expect my curse had some influence there, though.
On that note, it also says here that the writer thought Chapter 2 seemed unusually long until they realized it was in no small part thanks to Yuki Mouse's cackling. I agree with that. The second part was easily out of the original 3 stories was definitely one of the longer ones.
At least you were having fun.
Of everyone, I'd say I'm probably most worried about how you turned out after the ending. I swore I would resist the temptations. I doubt that stopped you from laughing like a madman as you strangled puppies and smashed kitten skulls. Jesus. God, I wish I could be human. Sounds like some twisted version of Pinocchio.
Once the reveal finally happened, it was almost hilarious how vapid the merchant's character became. Like when you told Pauline, perhaps my adoration had grown so strong it had turned you into a transcendent beauty like Cleopatra herself.
Women like to hear such things about themselves. You're terrible.
And then you went and killed one of your crewmates out at sea and told Pauline, no, there was no trouble when you got back. You're as black-hearted as they come.
You don't have to tell me. I am aware. It's an odd point to get snippy over.
He has no concern with whether he's a good or bad man, only with whether he's a man or a beast.
Again, I am aware. I really hope I never run into him again outside the extras.
Next to the rest of the cast, it's oddly refreshing how forward you are about your atrocities, despite being so much worse than any of them. It almost makes me think you're so hopeless it's not even worth bothering. That doesn't mean I'll forgive you, of course.
At least give Pauline a good life, please. That's not exactly reassuring. I will do what I can. You know,
for all you smile around Pauline, you're about as stone-faced as Michael around everyone else. In fact, I'd say Michael had you beat in the final chapter.
We all know his smile's fake, though. Indeed. And it's only ever been for Pauline, no one else. Both in the second chapter and the final chapter.
Maybe we should rename you to the Masked Man.
That makes him sound like a superhero.
You do your best, my dear, and try to blend into society. Now, I think we've spent more than enough time with this beast, so So let's be off, shall we?
Oh, they did change his name. You're leaving? Goodbye, angel. And goodbye, witch. How many times do I have to tell you I'm not an angel?
And for what it's worth, I'm not a witch any longer either.
So, I'm the only non-human left on the cast then. How unfortunate. Someone really needs to do something about him.
There's nothing anyone can do but leave him be. Farewell, Yukimasa, until our souls cross paths once more in the boundless sphere of fate.
Farewell. And the last one. Go see Jacopo. Hey, it's me, Jacopo.
Oh, you want to go see him, do you? Well, if that's what you want, I suppose I can take you. Why, hello there. How's your fragile male ego holding up?
I am genuinely glad to see you. However, I must ask, why did you bring him along with you? Why do you never come to see me alone?
About as well as always, I see.
I mean, you only the best. In fact, there's a great deal I still need to tell.
And you wonder why I don't want to see you.
He got pathetic real quick after the final chapter ended, huh? Damn it. What are you even seeing that man? He's just a filthy Frenchman with disgustingly long hair. The hair is one thing, but I can't change where I was born. Not a single damn good thing has ever come out of France. Some say French is one of the 3 great cuisines of the world, but anyone with a functional tongue knows Italian is vastly superior. They call themselves part of the civilized world, when in reality they're just a bunch of stuck-up snobs. Simpletons left to fawn over what? I'm not even gonna fucking pronounce that. But I tell you, the wine my country produces is far higher quality. Stunned to silence in the face of immutable truth, are you? I hope you get lost in the Louvre and starve to death, you bigoted prick. That really hurt him.
Oh, look at that. You hurt his feelings, Michael.
I swear, he's definitely in the running for most obnoxious character in the game. So, what brings you two here?
We're here to discuss your character as part of this behind-the-scenes extra. Although I do think Fragile Masculinity does a wonderful job describing you. You like to make a big show of things, but the reality is, if you'd simply swallowed your pride for 2 seconds and said what you really felt, told the truth, almost all of this could have been avoided. It's nigh unbearable watching you flounder about like a buffoon.
I almost feel bad for him. Almost. I think you've probably chided him enough, Morgana. He was kind of caught between a rock and a... Shut your mouth, Frenchman! I don't need you to defend me! All I want for you is to know why you're with Morgana. You do realize he's a rosy-eyed romantic, don't you, Morgana? You saw him swooning over some silly spring snow for God knows how many lines. Are you telling me that whole exchange wasn't gag-inducing? Seriously, why him? You really are insufferable.
Seeing a man so overcome with jealousy is just sad.
God damn it, you just don't get it.
I won't deny Michael's a bit of a romantic, but he also probably wouldn't lock someone in a tower and throw away any chance he might have had of redemption. So I'd say he's preferable to any of you.
God. Is preferable really the best I can manage?
Furthermore, I do not have feelings of that variety for him. Michael and I, we're G.O.Ds.
We're what now?
We are those who have been graced by overflowing divinity. We share a special connection, one you could never hope to have.
More like going overboard on drollery.
Okay, well, I've had my fun. Let's make our way to another room, shall we?
Wait, hold up! What happened to discussing my character? The cue card I was given for you is blank. What? It couldn't be! I'm joking, yes. I'm kind of an asshole, you know. Yes, because you're one to talk. It says here that fundamentally Jacopo is pure of heart. Though he acts proud and egotistical, he actually feels a great deal of debt and responsibility to those who allowed him to reach this point of power, this position of power. He generally means well, but he has great difficulty actually communicating his feelings. You have no right to get on my case about communication problems, Frenchman. Yours are on a very... Jesus Christ, excuse me. On a very, very different level. So there's something I've begun to notice. Your character is a little too similar to mine. In what way?
You and I were both pure-hearted types, and we were born into less than ideal circumstances. But that's not where I take real issue. To start, we talk too much alike. You try to act a little more polite around others, but on your own, your voice is uncomfortably similar to mine. But I showed up before you in the game. And you know what that means, don't ya? You're the copycat.
I can't deal with this right now. Besides, I first appeared at the end of Chapter 2 before you were introduced.
Ha! My logic's infallible.
Your voice au naturel is actually more childish than you present yourself. Or did you think I somehow wasn't aware of that fact?
You just had to bring that up, didn't you?
You could try dropping the tough guy act. Oh, that's her.
You could try dropping the tough guy act. It's not actually attractive at all.
Well, if you insist, I suppose I could.
Let's go. Wait, I didn't even get a sentence and you were leaving? May our souls never cross paths again in the balance of fate. No, let them, damn it! That covers the 3 perpetrators. Nice, why don't we pay a visit to those who were close to them?
About that, there's something I've been wondering.
And what might that be?
They weren't directly involved in anything that happened to you, yet they still seem to have been made guilty by association.
That's true. None of them did anything to me specifically. I have no intention of apologizing, though.
Morgana apologizing. Now there's a scene I cannot imagine for the life of me.
That said, I will try to go easier on them, though I doubt I could come up with much to berate them for.
I would appreciate that.
Let us be off, then.
See, just gonna go down the list.
So you want to see that rambunctious little girl, do you? Oh, that's your choice to make.
Thank you.
Ah, it's to say this is my second brother. Have you come to play? I have all sorts of card games to choose from, and if you'd like, I'll even make you some tea. Go on, pick a game. Let's play something. No, we're not here to play.
Morgana seems rather uncomfortable.
What? You're not? Sure. What brings you here then? We're paying all the major characters in the game a visit for a behind-the-scenes extra. You were next on the list. Oh? Does that mean you're going to talk to me or something?
Oh, talk about me. That it does. Fuck.
That it does. Surely everyone already knows everything they need to know about me. I'm the most adorable princess in all the land. I like to know how your head works that you can say things like that about yourself without even blinking. You're pretty yourself now that your face is better.
She just can't seem to take control of the conversation.
I will say, it rather surprises me to hear you say that. Oh? Why? You were rather brutal to the white-haired girl in Chapter 1, so I assume that was how you were with all women. I only had a problem with her because she hooked up with my dearest Mel. Anyone who tries to get close to my Mel must be exterminated.
The poor white-haired girl didn't stand a chance.
You're not interested in my Mel like that, are you, Saintess? The only thing I'm interested in doing to your brother is cursing him for all eternity. No, don't curse Mel. I don't care about the Lord or his bodyguard, but leave Mel out of it. I have to wonder, what exactly do you see in that spineless runt? He's handsome and kind, just like a prince. How superficial. If those are your only criteria, this white-haired giant would qualify too, wouldn't he?
What?
No, he can't be my prince. Michael would never give me a rose necklace to tell me how adorable I am or smile at me. What kind of a prince is that?
Mostly because I'm trying to avoid earning your excessive affection. I'm not sure how I feel about being berated for not making the same mistake as Mel. So, let's move on to Nellie's profile then. Though, well, as you can see, her character largely boils down to excessively adores her older brother.
You need to take those rose-tinted goggles off, girlie. Hey, I do not, and you make it sound like my adoration is a bad thing.
She's a self-centered young girl, generally overflowing with energy, but also struggling with her status as a noble. The final chapter is, perhaps, a better representation of what that was like for her. How, while she appears to be quite blessed, in many ways that's not actually the case.
I wonder if you seemed less obnoxious in the final chapter than the first because you were sickly and been forced into poverty. The last thing I care about is stuffy parties. I can't stand dancing with boys I don't even like, and all that hand-kissing stuff is so stupid it makes my head hurt.
Crap. Okay. kind of sympathize with her on that. It's still so funny because it's like knowing that Michael was originally a girl, so he had to go through all that too. Oh, it's still such a strange thing to think about.
It's not all terrible though. I probably would have been a bit less snippy than the first chapter if I didn't have to deal with that jerkwad Arthur. What kind of a person would you have preferred then? My Mel! Why did I even ask? Although if it's just for a dance partner, I could settle for Michael. This sounds right here, right now. Attend your princess like a proper prince should.
I don't even know how to dance.
Give it a try. I'm sure it'll be loads of fun.
For you, maybe.
Are you saying you won't dance with me? You're a terrible brother, Jack, but...
It's not you. I won't dance with anyone. Not only do I not know how, I have little interest.
You're no fun. You're no fun at all.
Because I refuse to be your plaything?
If you won't dance with me, then we'll have to do something else. We already know your singing's bad enough to make someone go deaf, Michael, so maybe the singers could sing for us instead. You want me to sing? I'm sure it'll be great. You have a beautiful voice.
I actually wouldn't mind hearing that. Not that I think she'll do it.
Okay then, as you wish.
What? You're actually going to sing?
Would you rather I didn't?
I didn't say that. I didn't expect you would.
Yay, I'm so excited! You sit down here next to me, Michael, we'll listen together.
Ooh, we get a little concert. Morgana, you brainwashed Nelly!
That shouldn't have happened. It was just a regular hymn.
You underestimate how much of an effect your voice has on people.
Then maybe you should have stopped me.
I underestimated it too. I'm feeling kind of spacey myself. Nelly. Hey, Nelly, come back to us, Nelly.
It doesn't seem to be working. She'll be a zombie for a few more hours at least.
Damn.
Let's move on, shall we?
You're just going to leave her here like this?
You expect us to keep our guest here waiting, watching her doing nothing? She'll be fine.
Okay. Take care, Nelly.
We hypnotize her and then just leave her there.
Alright, on to Pauline. The poor tragic fiancé.
You want to see her, do you? Well, she's harmless, so why not? Let's be off then. Oh, hello there. It's nice to see the two of you.
What are we doing out here?
I was thinking about the ocean, and the next thing I knew, here I was. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised. It wouldn't be a good extra without something inexplicable happening.
It's so bright.
Since we're here, why do you say we grab a boat and go out on the water?
I think I'd shrivel up and die out there. Could we at least stay on land, please?
Oh, that's too bad. But I understand. Your health is more important, Michael. We can talk here. You can ask me anything. Girl advice, guy advice, something more personal.
We're not here for advice. We came to have a behind-the-scenes look at your character.
Behind the scenes? Like with inside information?
Something like that.
My character's not all that complicated, though. At least I don't think so.
It says on your cue card that she has a tendency to put blind faith in people.
Yeah, I realized that in the final chapter. After Maria got on my case about it.
It is true.
It is true you tend to have your head in the clouds, and you're exceptionally loose with your trust. That ultimately wouldn't have been an issue if that psychotic monster were, well, anything resembling sane. Hey, don't talk about Yukimasa like that. He's a good guy.
Whoa. How come you still say that? Fuck. After all the things he did to you.
What happened to you in chapter 2 was terrible. Both then and in the final chapter you were completely innocent. A victim of your taste in men. What do you even see in that thing? Originally, I thought I liked him because he was a hard-working, honest man. But now that I know the truth, I think it was more a case of I felt like I had to do something for him.
What you should do is stay far, far away from him.
I think subconsciously I picked up on his precariousness, and I wanted to be there for him. Like I said, a victim of your taste in man. I guess.
So basically, like a guy would say, oh, I can fix her. She said, I can fix him. Which she could not. And that said, I think you're one of the few people who can keep him on a leash. So the world would probably be a better place with you keeping a watchful eye on him.
Maybe I'll actually put a leash on him. Like a little doggy collar. I'm just kidding. I would never do that.
And then I probably shouldn't say it. Excuse me, I thought it was a good idea.
Oh, Michael, there's another note in the cue card you haven't read yet. Or were you planning on skipping that one?
I'm not sure I should.
It's on the card. You should read it.
Alright, so just for the record, I'm only saying this because it's on the card.
Okay.
She has the second largest breasts of any character in the game.
Am I allowed to take him to court for that?
I told you that's what was on the card!
You could have at least been a little less straightforward about it. You seem to be pretty dense when it comes to things like that, though.
I was exiled before I had the chance to learn about how to properly interact like an adult.
Don't think I didn't see you awkwardly sticking glances at her as you read the card. It makes me wonder if what you said on your card is true, or if you actually prefer big boobs.
It was not, and it doesn't matter what my preferences are.
I don't think I have any choice but to take this to court.
Faith is literally your character, so why won't you put any in me? I saw that!
That's something else I appreciated about Yukimasa. He never gave girls inappropriate looks.
Probably because his targeting system was calibrated differently.
Anyway, I don't care what anyone says about him. I know he's a good guy and that's all that matters.
It's almost terrifying how she could trust him so much. Giselle can also be deeply trusting, but at least she's able to acknowledge what kind of person she's placing that trust in. But Pauline, she's definitely blind.
You look like you have something on your mind, Michael.
No, it's nothing.
Pauline, there's something I've been wanting to ask you. Oh? Are you a virgin?
What?
As an in the service of the Lord, you're required to maintain your chastity. Furthermore, you're known as the Sanctus, so to break that vow would be the utmost act of sacrilege. Absolutely. Of course I am. Oh, good.
She's not. Words cannot describe how awkward this is.
I think it's time we headed off. Have a good day and may God bless. Please refrain from invoking my father's name like that. It's disrespectful coming from a woman who yearns after worldly pleasure. Sorry.
Yikes.
Farewell.
Damn, that is crazy.
So you wish to see her, do you?
Yeah.
I'm not very comfortable around her, but as you wish. Well, if it isn't Morgana! It's been forever! It has been some time, yes. You're not gonna follow me down there, Morgana. Come on, show me that pretty little face of yours. No need to hide it. Do you not bear a grudge against me?
Huh? Why would I?
Of everyone, you deserved least to fall under my curse. You happen to have known the Lord, and that was all. You even took care of me at the brothel.
Is that some legitimate regret I'm sensing?
Water under the bridge. No point in holding it over you. If anything, that sack of shit Jacopo's to blame.
Meanwhile, no one has any sympathy for him.
Besides, I did kind of fuck you over pretty hard in the third chapter. That wasn't me. Not exactly, but she was supposed to be part of you, wasn't she? At least at first, I wasn't planning to cause the madam as much grief as I did. Once I got started, it spiraled out of control, you know?
Maria's kind of a terrifying woman.
But you ultimately tripped up at the end. You should have aimed for where the bastard's weakest, his poor, fragile masculinity. Or the head, Either works. See, that's my problem. I don't really think before I act. I just kind of run with my instinct. I'm betting the third chapter only went as well as it did because I had your curse helping me out. Most likely. But you know what's a real work of art? My profile on the website. It says I'm her only ally. When in reality I was the greatest foe.
I don't think that's something to be proud of.
Your transformation in the third chapter was a sight to behold indeed. You even look like a completely different person. I'm a girl of many faces. I have to say, I prefer you like this. Crass, but not too vulgar, and with everything out in the open.
I'm totally with you there, girl.
Playing so many roles is hard fucking work. I imagine. Anyway, you're not just here to shoot the shit, are you? Ah, yes. We came to discuss your character for this behind-the-scenes extra. Go on, Michael, quit staring off into space and read the card.
I was going to read the card, but,
What is it? Some kind of mind-blowing revelation? Well, you don't have to wait for me, I'm all ears.
It's blank.
It's what?
I'm not kidding. It's completely blank.
Hey, what the hell? Get your asses out here, staff, and explain yourselves. Why am I the only one that's got nothing on it? No themes, no profiles, no nothing?
I suppose it means they're exactly what you appear to be.
In a way, they could be considered better than everyone else, with their secrets and ambiguous motivations. It's still a shitty thing to do. At least give me a theme or something. We could come up with one if you want.
I need some time to think about it.
Better make it a good one. Let's see. How about sisterhood?
Eh?
Seriously? That's not what I expected at all. It was the first thing that came to mind. Huh, that ain't half bad. I figured you'd go with something a little more pointed, like betrayal or slattiness.
How about self-deprecation?
So you think of me like a sister, do you, Morgana? I'm cool with that. Chin up, girl. I'm not down there.
Is she blushing? Morgana, out of curiosity, would you consider Giselle to be like a sister too?
She's more like a pet.
Oh, I see.
Anyway, I'm glad it's still doing well. Or chugging along at least. I'd say anyone's doing well when we're all dead, huh?
She sounds way too jolly about that.
I know this is an extra, but I'm still glad we had the chance to talk.
Morgana.
Me too. Looks like you have grown a bit. The Morgana I knew would never have admitted that. We should get going. Oh, well, here's to hoping we meet again. Later, Morgana. Someday, perhaps.
Yeah. I do like Maria. I liked her character both in the third story as well as the final chapter as well. But a very good.
That's the last of the group. Only a few more to go.
You mean that wasn't everyone?
Unless you want that to be everyone.
Oh, right. It'd be nice to see my brothers again.
Off we go then.
Ah. Ooh. Okay, we're gonna go start off with Georges and Didier.
Alright then, off we go. Oh, hey there, Michael, Morgana. How's it hanging?
Hold on, why are you still painting?
I don't know, it just kind of felt right. More my image. I guess the readers probably associate me with this more than my human form too.
Maybe, but still.
Now, it ain't the end of the world, little bro. Being a pig is actually quite nice. A bummer not being able to move around, but that aside, there's plenty to watch.
Oh, I never made that connection.
You were here for all of the first three chapters, weren't you? Sure was. And you have no idea how bamboozled I was when the white-haired girl first showed up. It was like my painting had come to life.
Did you not think she was me?
Well, would I? You're nothing alike. I mean, you might have sort of looked a little like that as a kid, but you were definitely not that docile. So does that mean I'm the only one who thought she was him? Probably.
Huh. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Georges.
You're my brother. I wouldn't confuse you for anyone. If you're trying to make yourself sound like a good brother, you're going to have to try harder than that. You and the knights still exiled him to this mansion and cut off all communication.
Morgana, I've already said I don't hold that against them anymore.
She's got a point, though. I was so busy with my work, it just kind of slipped my mind. I really am sorry about that. So much for a family. But enough of that. The cue cards, Michael. Read his profile for our guest.
I'm not exactly comfortable saying this to my brother's face.
Oh? What's it say? Some really dark secrets?
I wouldn't call it that, no.
Fine. I'll read it if you don't want to. Let's see here. He's the biggest dumbass in the game.
Harsh, man, harsh! I don't think you're supposed to find that funny, Georges.
I can agree with that assessment. Either his head's empty or he needs to learn to use it a little bit more. I promise you I've done lots of thinking since becoming a painting. Not really bad about a whole bunch of crap. It's not really my style though, so I never lasted really long.
Unless you were that easy for me.
You know, of the three Belgian brothers, I do think I kind of stick out. With all my love, you and Dee are both more the stick up the bum type. So maybe I am illegitimate.
To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if that turned out to be the case.
Out of curiosity, what do all the Bollinger... Why? Yeah. Oh, what do all the different Bollingers look like? Dee and Mom had blonde hair, Dad had darkish brown, I had jet black, and Michael, well, you know what he looks like. You can't possibly be legitimate. I'll keep praying that ain't the case. Anyway, this conversation's going nowhere, so we should head out. Ooh, already? Take me with you, at least.
Hold on, I'll get you down from there.
No, you are not bringing him. All he does is make noise.
Well, I tried.
Oh well, that's too bad. Take care anyway, Michael.
You too. Oh, and Georges.
What's up?
I'm praying your soul wasn't extinguished.
Yeah, me too. Thanks, little bro.
See you again.
Later, Michael.
Let's go see Didier.
Alright, well if you want to see him, we'll have to head down to the entrance.
Michael. I beg you, punish me for my sins. Huh? Hold on, wait, what? I released you from your regrets at the end of the game. So why have you reverted to how we found you?
Why not? This is an extra.
That doesn't mean I have to like it. Canon or not, nothing can erase my crimes. Please, Didier, don't. You're just making it uncomfortable for me to be here. I see. Well, if you insist. I guess I'm just gonna leave the graphic up. I will say, I am rather fond of that armor. I like to wear some of it just once. You're welcome to try it on if you'd like.
Now you can read my mind?
No, but I can read your face.
Why not?
I think I'll pass. Armor wouldn't suit me. It probably wouldn't fit me either. Are you certain? I don't have nearly enough muscle to look the part. Maybe I should start working out.
Oh yes, Knight. I have something I wanted to ask you.
Oh? What might that be?
You don't remember killing Georges at the end of the game, do you?
Morgana! Is this really the time?
Your list of sins grows longer, Knight.
I not only murdered Michael, but Georges as well. I must be punished! Hang me upon the cross! I am unworthy to call myself a knight! And he's gone. Once again racked by guilt. You weren't kidding when you said this extra didn't respect the tone of the game, were you? My brothers are not your playthings. This was supposed to be a happy reunion. You're going to drive yourself mad if
You're going to drive yourself mad if you've read over every little thing wrong with this extra. No, we should get going.
Dang, nothing on Georges, huh? Alright, let's go see her.
As you wish. Let's go see what Amy...
Wait, slow down. How could she possibly be here? You never summoned her, and she had no reason to find her way here like my brothers.
It's an extra. I can do whatever I want.
Hold on! She doesn't even have a sprite!
That won't be a problem. All I have to do is switch to portrait mode.
Switch to portrait mode? That's crazy work right there. That's fucking crazy work. This can't be happening!
Michael, your face. You're not looking very protagonisty. Why, hello there, Michael. It's been quite some time. I see you found enough guts to show your face around me again. Now, no need to glare. I was your first love, wasn't I?
That was just hormones. I never had any romantic feelings for you.
Right, you only lusted after me.
There's something I've always wanted to tell you.
Oh, and what might that be?
Your smile. Your smile is goddamn terrifying.
And off he goes. I take back what I said about him finding his guts. Give me a moment, I'll bring him back. Now, that was shameful, Michael. I thought you were a man.
Morgana, make this quick, please.
She did quite a bit of damage to him, huh? Okay, so according to the cue cards, if you were to rank the characters in Fata Morgana by how evil they were, the 3 biggest, baddest women in the game would be Amy, Maria, and Morgana. Wait a second, why is my name on this list? No, I will not accept that. Maria wasn't that bad in my time either.
Please, just keep reading.
Oh fine, you're in quite the hurry. Amy though, she's pure evil. Well, that's not very nice. Maria and I had our reasons for what we did, but she just tortured people for the fun of it. Oh no, I would never dream of doing such a thing. She's the masked woman to go along with our masked man. They'd probably make a fine pair.
I somehow doubt 2 of their type would be able to get along very well at all. And unlike him, she likes to take her time, draw it out as long as possible.
And much like what you said before you ran off, Michael, it says here that Amy smiles a lot, but it's generally a fake smile. Oh no, all my smiles are entirely genuine, see?
You can't fake not faking it. It doesn't work that way.
How rude. I could see I turned out to be the puppet master of the Bollinger family. You had your claws in them pretty deep, didn't you? Is that important?
You damn monster.
Listen carefully, Michael. You were burned at the stake. I lived a life of luxury. I don't need to tell you whose methods are superior, do I?
That only applies for my life. I'm more than happy now.
Is that so? Well, I suppose congratulations are in order.
Let's get out of here, Morgana.
Farewell, Michael. We'll probably never see each other again.
Good. I don't want to see you, you goddamn bitch. Ugh, that was exhausting.
And that's the last of them. I suppose it's about time to draw this to an end.
What? Haven't we missed one very important character?
And who would that be?
The white-haired girl.
She's no longer in this world. Her soul's been erased.
But this... You said you could do whatever you wanted because this was an extra.
Within reason. I cannot bring back that which no longer exists. She lives on within your memory. She wouldn't ask for anything more.
That doesn't make it any less sad.
Giselle's waiting. We should head back. Oh, hello. Welcome back, Michael, Morgana.
Giselle, what are you wearing?
There's something more appropriate to say farewell in. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised. Anything goes here.
Except when it doesn't.
Alright, everyone, squeeze in front for one last illustration. And don't forget to smile for our readers.
Let's go.
Thank you very much for reading all the way to the end of our extra.
And likewise, thank you very much for reading to the end of the game.
If our stories had any sort of impact on you, we couldn't ask for anything more. And hopefully they don't just remember them as comically tragic.
It did have a happy end, though.
I'm not convinced you could call that an entirely happy end myself. There's at least one person who's not coming back. And do we even know if you got the body you wanted? Whether he did or not, we're together. And we have a future. We'll make it work. If you say so. We hope you enjoyed playing the house in Fata Morgana. The staff and localization team poured their hearts and souls into this game, and every satisfied reader validates that effort.
We took a long time to get to this point. The first draft of the script was completed in 2009.
So 4 years until the initial release, and then another 3 to come out in English? That's a bit excessive if you ask me. Well, hopefully that effort resulted in something worthy of all that time it took. And hopefully whatever they make next time doesn't take quite as long. Actually, the team's next game's already been released. Wait, has it? Why was I not informed of this? We keep it as a surprise. This is my domain, and you're not appreciate surprises. Now don't do a fit, my dear. And that's my phrase, thank you very much.
And on that note, we have an exciting announcement. Well, look at that!
The photo up to the house in Fata Morgana, A Requiem for Innocence, will be coming out in English in 2016.
Wow, just got thrown back to 2015, huh?
Releasing both games in the same year. I should be sure the localization team can handle that considering how long this one took.
They don't have much of a choice at this point. The announcement's already been made. There's no taking it back now.
I hope they have lots of caffeine then. I have faith in them. That makes one of us.
Let's say 2. Or 1.5 maybe.
Well, I suppose we'll find out soon enough. And as for reading this and it's already out, that makes it look very silly.
Anyway, enough diversions. Thank you very much for sticking with us to the end, and we hope to see you again relatively soon.
Bye, and I hope you like the game enough to pick up A Requiem for Innocence. Farewell, my dear.
Alright. Well, that was fun. I'm glad that you guys let me know about that and that I ended up doing it. Well, it was nice because I got to come back and kind of reminisce a little bit on the first game. It's been a while since I've played it. And man, just coming back to this really reminded me how great this game was. And it makes me even more excited to get into Requiem of Innocence, which again, we have already posted the first episode of this, of Requiem for Innocence. So I highly recommend that you guys go watch that, because it is very, very good so far. And I mean, we've only like an episode in 2 hours. So, yeah, I mean, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like on the video and tell me in the comment section below what you'd like to see me play next. If you enjoyed this video or any other videos or series on my channel, then I highly recommend that you hit the subscribe button and turn on post notifications so you'll be notified when a new one of those videos comes out. Anyways, that's it from me, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.